Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Welcome back to TCS Everyday Psychics. I'm Trevor,
I'm Sarah.
and we are reacting to 7 most disturbing scary videos found on the internet. And this is by Scary Comp. This is
We
not nukes.
decided, yeah, not nukes. We
So,
decided that we wanted to do something a little different than the average haunted channel reaction. So I believe, Trevor, these are trail cams.
there's one towards the end, but they're like videos found on, I think, TikTok and stuff like
Oh,
that
okay,
of
cool. So just
paranormal
very,
activity happening. Yes. So I
very
figured.
spooky stuff. All right, awesome.
Yes, we have not watched this. We kind of just found it. We're going to go in totally blind and see what's going on. We figured it'd be fun. And after the last POV that me and Pam filmed, I just can't deal with ghost hunters this week, so we're doing something fun.
Yes, excellent. A little bit lighthearted, shall we say?
Yes, lighthearted. Love it. All right, let's jump right into it, everybody.
All right, sounds good.
An individual from Italy embarked on a quest to substantiate the existence of the paranormal. This led them to conduct a séance utilizing a Ouija board within the confines of their residence. Shortly thereafter, they encountered the confirmation they sought as peculiar occurrences commenced within their home. Several days later, while alone at home, they were startled by an abrupt noise, prompting them to retrieve their phone to document the event.
Chi c'è? Chi è? Chi fa casino? Chi è che si sentiva? Chi c'è?
A sharp, unexpected noise emanates from directly behind him, followed by his wife being home alone a few days later, hearing unfamiliar sounds echoing through the house and recording the occurrence.
Chi c'è? La luce. Chi è stato? Chi ha bussato? Non sono pazza. Non sono pazza. C'è qualcuno? Chi c'è? Dove sei? Fatti vedere. Dove sei? No, dove? Da dove? La cucina, la cucina, la cucina. Cazzo. Cazzo. Qui sto sfuggendo di mano.
The sound of glass shattering resonates throughout the kitchen as she steps into the room. Yet a thorough scan reveals no one in sight. This unsettling occurrence marks merely the beginning, indicating that the situation may escalate as they persist in utilizing the Ouija board and engaging in other peculiar activities.
So, first of all, the grids in that home are not good because my head really hurts in there, but I don't really get anything
I think it's really old. I think that house strikes me as being pretty old.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
I don't think I got a wisp of something. Actually, my head is hurting really bad too. I got a wisp of something in the first part of the video when the man was walking around. I don't think it was anything powerful enough to like break
Hmm.
glass. I don't think the glass breaking was real, frankly.
Me neither. It
Um,
sounded really strange. It sounded like recorded almost. It was very odd.
yeah. I did pick up though on what I think is a male earthy in their home. It could be totally unrelated to whatever noises they say they're hearing. You know, there's earthies in places. Sometimes you just discover them, right? I
Yep.
don't think I don't think he was called in by the Ouija board. I'm not even sure they played with the Ouija board, to be frank. Um,
Who knows? I mean,
yeah,
since the grids are messed up in there, like there's definitely a bit of not portals because that's a crazy word, but like some openings for things to kind of come in if they want.
right. Because the grids aren't there and everything's on top of one another, it's so totally common for, things, whatever, earthies, not earthies, any kind of entities, whatever, to just sort of pop in and out, as we've said before. And I
Hmm.
think in this case, that's probably what was happening with that earthy that I picked up on. It was very faint. I really couldn't get a lot of information. I saw him only briefly behind the man. Interestingly, I did see him behind the man, and then they said that the noise came from behind the man. But like I said, I'm not convinced that it's related.
No, I don't think so either. I almost kind of get like a little bit poltergeisty energy from this just because of the attention that they're giving it, you know, kind of
Yeah, I think
manifesting some fears of theirs.
if they asked for advice, I would say, stop because
Yeah.
it's never a good idea to mess with or to put so much attention onto something or to say that you're experiencing activity even if you're not, because just the act of doing that can sort of attract things.
And it
Um,
absolutely will.
you
And
know,
don't play with a Ouija board if you're scared of Ouija boards. You're also just going to invite things in that way. It's not necessarily the Ouija board itself that
right.
is the bad thing. It's kind of our fears around that. The Ouija board is just a tool.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so I think in this video, it was just sort of a combination of factors. It was the lack of grids, and that can happen in places where either it's very old, it's
Yeah,
not
over time,
it's
things
not
just
uncommon,
no.
to go into an older home and the grids are a little wonky because um just of use, basically. We all have energy about us and with us, and as we walk through places and live in places that can have an effect on our surroundings, including the grids. So,
Yep.
in a place where there's been a lot of traffic or a lot of people have moved in and out or whatever, it can definitely have an effect on the grids over time. And then that in turn can kind of allow certain things from other dimensions to just kind of go through. I think that's what's going on here.
I agree. Well said, Sarah.
I try. I think we have a TikToker.
Next one.
Popular TikTok user Jen Barari resides in a notable colonial-era residence situated in Pennsylvania. She shares this historic abode with her spouse, Heather, and their 6-year-old daughter, Ray. We previously featured their terrifying experiences on our channel. Following the commencement of essential renovations on their cherished property, the family found themselves besieged by inexplicable occurrences, haunting their life every moment of their life.
Can you stop? Fuck out!
Honey, what's going on? Baby, come here. Come here, come here. Come here. What's up, baby? Come here. What's going on?
I don't know. And my reflection's creeping me out. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. You guys saw that, right? I'm not bugging. Like, here's my reflection. There's something. It looks like the old man is coming out. I swear to fucking God, what the fuck was that?
After conducting thorough research, Jen discovered that up to 5 individuals have tragically lost their lives on the premises of their property. Initially skeptical, Jen has now become convinced that their picturesque countryside residence is haunted by the lingering spirits of its past inhabitants. Regrettably, since the previous coverage of Jen Barari's experiences, the unsettling supernatural phenomena persist unabated. One evening, as dusk descends, Jen is in the midst of loading her car for a trip when she is startled to her very core by an unexpected sound.
And the light just went on in there, and also in there. Holy shit. Did you guys fucking hear that? That was fucking crazy. Oh my fucking God. This is fucking insane. Now I hear that fucking animal again. That's fucking insane. Yo, I swear to God that wasn't me. Can you please do that again? Please. I'm gonna count so you guys know it's not me. Please.
A chilling feminine voice utters the words, "Help and leave."
That was fucking crazy. That was fucking crazy. That was fucking crazy. I'm gonna count so you guys know it's not me. Please. Please. Please.
In this intriguing piece of paranormal evidence captured by Jen, there is more than initially meets the eye. Upon closer inspection, within the small window at the apex of the aged barn, 2 inexplicable pale hands emerge, while Jen remained unaware of this anomaly. During the time of recording, it was brought to her attention by numerous TikTok viewers who were unsettled by the eerie sight. Jen finds herself in a state of disbelief, unable to fathom whose hands they could belong to, especially given that there was no one present inside the barn. On another occasion, Jen is startled by an unusual noise emanating from outside her residence. Reacting promptly, she retrieves her phone and ventures outdoors to investigate. To her bewilderment, the source of the disturbance appears to be her daughters.
I literally just got home.
Jen finds herself unable to perceive anything in her surroundings, and her phone fails to capture any discernible image apart from the swinging motion of the set. Yet, through the lens of her CCTV's night vision camera, a peculiar sight emerges. A female figure, characterized by a lengthy dark hair, positioned directly in Jen's line of sight, fixated on her presence. This raises a question. What phenomenon is unfolding in this scenario? Could it be that Jen's historical estate is visited by a multitude of unsettled spirits from bygone eras? The answer remains open to interpretation.
do we want to break this down by each video that we saw, like the first one and then the second one? Because
Sounds good.
so the first one, I really get that there's more, it's more the land than anything.
I got that as well. Yeah, agreed.
Like it's like a earth spirit, like an elemental type or something like that. I'm not
Yeah,
sure what.
yeah. I think I was more getting that the land is unsettled. Like there's something off about the energy of the land that's like kind of allowing, similar to the grids being gone, it's allowing things to kind of come through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know about the rest of them. Go on.
The hands in the window and then the woman at the end,
I
I
mean,
was like, fake, fake.
there
There's no
it
way.
yeah, it's pretty clearly fake. The kid standing up is fake, and that's obviously a real kid that they went and got her real quick, which is kind of gross to include your kid in your
Yeah,
paranormal hoax. I definitely think there's activity for sure. I think on this place, I don't
it's just not
necessarily.
what they're
Yeah,
saying it is. It's not that bad. It's not like crazy like that.
I don't think that the woman who owns the page has experienced activity in the way that she thinks she has. Um,
And plus, as soon as you start getting into like seeing spirits
mhm.
and their physical form, like then they're not see through. I'm like I'm doubtful because people fake stuff. Like you rarely see
You
spirits
never.
anyway,
I mean,
but
that's
like
not true. You do. You rarely see
but
anything like a
not phys.
solid. Right.
Yes,
It's
not solid.
very, very like vanishingly rare that somebody is going to see someone that looks like a regular alive human and mistake that for a ghost. It happens, particularly
Yep.
with mediums, I think. Um, mediums, particularly ones who maybe don't know they're mediums, can sometimes have that experience. Um, but it's not the kind of thing some random person is going to be able to catch on their camera. I don't think. I've always
No.
thought it was like if you see someone and it's they're full on flesh and blood, I've had that experience before, but it wasn't like everybody else could see them, right? It was just how I was perceiving that the thing that was there. So it's not like they've incorporated or yeah, it's not like they've incarnated in any way. It's just that the way that I, through my mind's eye, was perceiving that thing, that spirit, was as a fully formed human. It's not something that is like objectively there, you know?
Right. And spirits, when you see them like that, they're certainly not going to linger for as long as they were in those
Right.
videos.
No.
They like if you see them, it's going to be like in your peripheral vision or like for a split second and it's gone. Like
Yeah.
they don't stay for that long. It's just no way.
Yeah. And, obviously the hands, those are real hands. That's not spirit hands. Although I will say when she was filming and before she went panned back to the window at the top, I said, oh, there's something up there behind that window. But I didn't get a chance to actually look into it because, it went away.
Mm-hmm.
Let me turn my light on. It was a beautiful
Um,
home, a beautiful little piece of land.
yeah, it was a beautiful home. I don't get in the beginning where they said like 5 people had passed there. I don't get that any of them are still there. They're certainly
No,
not stuck or anything.
I mean, if they're saying that this is from the colonial times,
There might
that's
some residual is probably more accurate, but
250 years ago. So yeah, people are going to have died there.
hmm
It's that's going to happen. But no, I agree. I tried to look into that. I think they've all crossed over. I don't think that anybody who died there is still there.
nope, nope. It's really just the Earth that needs some work.
Yeah, and I would believe that they've experienced activity. I kind of what I'm getting here is that they did indeed genuinely experience something and that triggered them to start making these videos. And I probably, just like many other channels, it became quickly apparent that they weren't going to get enough activity on camera to sustain a whole TikTok channel.
Right? Yeah. Then you got to go. Then they start creating things and calling things in. It's just a bad
Yeah, it's
snowball
not a good way
effect.
to go. It's not a good way to go. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily put any stock in the more visual components of that video.
Okay, ready for the next one?
Sure.
Raymond shared a video on his YouTube channel depicting inexplicable occurrences he has captured on camera. His narrative unfolds with the premise of tending to his elderly mother residing in his domicile. To ensure her comfort and safety, he outfitted her room with surveillance equipment, allowing him to monitor her well-being during his absence. However, one fateful evening, the footage captured by this surveillance system documented an enigmatic event that continues to confound Raymond to this day. While his mother slumbered peacefully in her bed, an unsettling sight unfolded in the reflection of the mirror. Two shadowy forms, swift and elusive, traversed the room in quick succession. Strangely, there was no one else present in the house at that moment. Raymond is convinced that what he witnessed was the apparition of his recently departed niece. However, the true nature of this phenomenon remains a mystery.
Because as we know,
it's not the niece. No.
they rarely stay or like stay as earthies, so it's definitely not the kid. But that looked like not like a real human in that bed. It looked, what a weird way to sleep. Which, I mean, you definitely could.
You could. I think certain conditions you have to sleep sitting up.
Yeah. It's just odd to me. That's why I say it. Nothing spiritual. It's just weird.
Okay. I don't know how. I'll just tell you what I get. I don't know how possible this is.
Okay.
All right. I think that the first thing that passed through on the mirror, I think that was a flesh and blood physical human.
Me too. Something replicated, it's like a shadow, like.
Yes. I think they were trying to make something spooky, and they with the first thing. However, when I watched it the first time, the hair in the back of my neck went up, and I'm trying to look into it a little more to figure out if I truly think whatever came behind it was an apparition. Part of me thinks that it's the energy of that person causing their reflection to be kind of off, but I need to look into it a little more, which I will do while you talk. Hang on.
And see, what I get is it's something kind of making fun of him, like mocking him, following right close behind, being like, look at this idiot.
I can definitely see that.
Like, it's nothing like negative, really, but it's,
I mean, it's not it's not super low vibrational. But,
right. It's not like an entity or something nasty. It's more like a trickster, like a, haha, look at you, stupid human.
Yeah. Something that's almost like attracted to sickness is what I'm getting, which is a strange thing to get. But, if this guy's mom is really that sick that she has to be in that bed and, be watched, it's possible. It's possible. I don't want to presume that I know too much about the situation, because I don't. But, in my experience, when people are closer to death or closer to birth, sometimes that can kind of attract or let in, just kind of oddities, weird things, weird happenings around them.
Yeah.
I do think that you're right. Whatever this thing is, it's mocking him a little bit.
Oh, you know what I just got too, Sarah? It was mocking, but it was also defensive over that woman in that bed.
That lands really well. Like, how dare you turn this into the social media thing,
And see, okay, interesting that you go that way, because I was more like, this is my get away from this person, they're mine kind of thing. Like,
I think it could be both. I think it could be both. I think it could be like a sort of like possessive thing, but also sort of a protective thing, because
like a weird
what I feel is like the feeling that because of this guy is like, you know, he's putting this online or he's setting this up to be put online, that's sort of offensive in a way. And
Yeah,
so
there's
they're
a
like, you're going to mock her, I'm going to mock you.
Yep, exactly. It's like a codependency thing. It's a very weird, strange relationship between. I don't
It's
even want to call it a relationship. It seems it's like really one way. It's just that spirit has some sort of weird claim. The earthy, sorry.
it's spooky. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's unusual. But I do think there's more than one thing going on there. I think that the guy is probably trying to stage a video that he can put online, but also that, yeah, he did indeed actually capture something, which is interesting. It's pretty rare to capture something that you can see, you know?
right. And it's so funny. That was the shortest video, and that was the most interesting one
I
so
find
far.
that happens a lot, though, because when they're all elaborate, you know, that's kind of a tip off.
Right, it's
You
fake.
don't have to be psychic to know that's fake, you know?
Right.
But for these, the short ones, and I noticed the dude only had one subscriber, which is also, to my mind, lends it more credence. But I do think he accidentally caught something interesting on there.
Yeah. Oof.
A woman found herself in an intriguing situation while charging her phone in the lower level of a 3-story arcade mall. Despite the usual closure of entrances to patrons around the time of her visit, she ventured in, driven by her urgent need to charge her device. Evading the vigilant mall security, whose duty was to clear the premises of lingering individuals after closing, she proceeded with her task. Unbeknownst to her, beyond the threat of encountering displeased security personnel, lay an unforeseen occurrence waiting to be captured by her camera.
I don't know where the sound is coming from, but it sounds like haunting. And I can't figure out the direction it's coming from. I think it's up there, but I don't know. It's all closed off up there. But what? It's literally like I'm in the arcade. It's literally shut off. You can't even get up there. Oh. Feels like I'm being haunted. What are all these sounds?
As she explored the premises during off-peak hours, she observed that the top 2 floors were sealed off with barricades for renovation. However, her attention was drawn to something more peculiar when she started hearing the distinct sounds of children laughing and chatting echoing from those inaccessible floors.
I'm in the arcade. It's literally shut off. You can't even get.
And that wasn't the most eerie aspect of the video, as she managed to capture what seems to be a ghostly figure on the highest level. An individual or entity with lengthy hair appeared to be surveilling her from the upper level before swiftly evading sight as the camera panned towards their direction. Who or what might that entity be? Furthermore, how can we account for the eerie sound of children's footsteps echoing through the deserted corridors during late hours? Is it indicative of genuine poltergeist phenomena, or could she be deceiving us?
Okay, I got nothing on that. Not one thing.
Okay, that is a mall with
It's a
people
mall.
in it that are just being loud.
That's it. I mean, you
That-
get normal mall energy of, you know, a lot of different people moving about, maybe different sort of feelings and vibes as you go through. I'm super articulate today, if you can't tell. Feelings and vibes. But no, nothing paranormal that I can tap into beyond the regular energy of a lot of people.
Yep, just a lot of people in the off-peak hours, so not close.
Right,
So,
I noticed that too. I was like, before you said it was a closing mall, and now it's off-peak. Okay.
Yeah, so what's really happening here?
That,
Just people.
I believe, is what they call filler, because there was nothing there.
And then when it was the ghostly specter, like, who was watching that girl? I was like, I think I missed it.
I know. I was like,
I see nothing.
I saw a regular person moving around.
Yeah.
Yep, that was a nothing. All right.
Nothing.
Moving on.
Some individuals working together within an office building in Malaysia are reviewing security footage, which was recorded during a period when one of them was working alone in the office. The contents of the footage have elicited significant apprehension among them.
That scene lah.
Yeah, I heard before that ada benda lah kat sini tapi never ni lah. Actually believe it.
He sit down.
You sit down, you forward a bit lah.
Wait.
Sitting down part.
Yeah.
Here.
Kita ni mah ni tua until late night.
Okay.
What happened to him after this?
He had a fever. I heard that he had a fever.
Wait!
Did you see that?
That one, the chair.
Wait.
There, the chair, that chair. What are you doing?
Okay, that is
Okay.
I can't see anything.
Okay.
Oh!
Wait. Seriously lah, this thing happening in our office.
Okay, ni takut lah guys.
As the scene unfolds, we observe a man entering his workspace, finding his laptop ready for use amidst vacant desks. Engaging in his tasks, he encounters a disturbance that perplexes him. A nearby chair unexpectedly shifts, prompting him to pause and investigate. While engrossed in this anomaly, another chair behind him subtly moves, evading his notice. However, his attention is sharply drawn when a stack of papers cascades to the floor without warning. Upon inspecting beneath his desk, he rises from his seat, sensing a disruption in his surroundings.
Gotta say, this narration is just it adds so much to the videos.
It's about the only interesting thing on some of them.
That's what we call fun with fishing wire.
Yep, that's exactly what I got too. That's nothing.
Not one.
That camera quality is so bad in an office too. I mean, I get it's not going to be like high tech, quality stuff, but that is just hard to see anything. And of course, perfect environment for fishing wire.
Yeah, that was nothing. Once again, I obviously got the energy of a lot of people in one space that go through their routine every day. Nothing paranormal to me.
Right. The worst thing I got from that is like a little like toxic workplace, a little bit like nothing.
I got a couple either somebody in that office space or just the general vibe of the office space is a little bit of despair, maybe like a kind of sterility. It's kind of cold in there, not a lot of like warmth of feeling, but again, that's just probably many office spaces across the world. Right.
Because that's what that's what offices are. They're cold and they're just for work and that's it. Boring.
Yep.
All right.
Let's hope in this next one. Is this the trail cam one or is that coming up?
That's after this one.
Okay, cool. All right, let's cross our fingers, guys.
Sure. In April 2024, Paul uploaded 2 TikTok videos presenting security camera footage captured on his property, suggesting a potential intruder who, according to Shaul, exhibited behavior consistent with that of a time traveler. The first video depicts the intruder roaming Shaul's backyard and eventually entering his shed. Shaul, upon reviewing the footage, notes the intruder's prolonged presence within the shed, despite no visible exit. attempting to communicate via the camera's microphone yields no response. Shawl subsequently contacted law enforcement, who appear in the footage searching the area, including the shed, but find no intruder present. In a follow-up video, Shawl shares footage from the following day, where he received a notification of activity in his backyard. Surprisingly, the same individual emerges from the shed, now noticeably older, and makes direct eye contact with the camera as he passes by. This uncanny resemblance prompts speculation among viewers, some suggesting Shawl installed a hidden camera in the shed, an idea that Shawl acknowledges positively. The perplexing nature of these events has captivated viewers, with many acknowledging the possibility of witnessing a genuine anomaly if Shawl's videos indeed depict real occurrences.
I don't even know if we should dignify that with a response.
And I was trying not to laugh, but you were making it hard.
Sorry.
And I could see you laughing.
I didn't know where it was going, but I wasn't expecting the words time traveler to...
how do you jump from intruder in my yard, they're a time traveler? They have to be.
What? People contain multitudes, Trevor. The world is a rich tapestry of crazy people.
That is, wow, what a way to sum that up. I have nothing. I've got no words. That actually hurts my brain.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to take at least a 45-minute nap after that. That is painful.
That was ridiculous. All right.
The first guy looks like someone under the influence. The second guy looks like someone who's just fixing your HVAC or whatever.
It's funny that like the time travelers wear grubby clothes from this time.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
So interesting. Okay, now the last one that we're excited for.
All right, please let there. Okay, I got my hopes up and my fingers crossed. There's going to be something good on this one.
Me too. I'm ready. I'm ready for something.
In the Pocomoke State Forest, renowned for its eerie reputation steeped in rumors and urban legends, a lone hiker named Bambo traversed its depths. As he ventured, the forest's usual symphony of sounds fell silent, instilling within him a creeping unease. Sensing a presence trailing him, concern for his safety stirred deep within. In a bid to document his experience and perhaps uncover the source of his disquiet, he began recording, ultimately capturing the following encounter.
Hola, me encuentro en el Pocomoke State Forest, en Maryland. Este es uno de los bosques más embrujados de Maryland. Llevo 25 minutos adentrándome aquí en el bosque. No he sentido así una sensación muy rara, pero algo hay aquí porque nomás de repente es un silencio total. ¿Oyeron? ¿Oyeron? Bueno, espero hayan escuchado, pero les digo, sí hay sensación. Es una sensación rara aquí en este Pocomoke State Forest, que han sucedido muchas cosas. Asesinatos, desapariciones. Bueno, ahí pondré el video en YouTube. Que estén bien, cuídense.
A sudden noise catches his attention from behind, prompting him to swiftly turn around. However, upon glancing back, there's nothing to be seen.
¿Oyeron?
Unable to discern the source of the trailing presence, he concludes it prudent to depart before circumstances escalate. Given Mari-Lyn's reputation for harboring numerous haunted forests, notably the infamous Black Hills Forest immortalized in the Blair Witch Project, one wonders if an unearthly entity is indeed in pursuit. Alternatively, could it simply be a creature of the natural world?
Okay, I'd just like to say, whoever wrote the script for this narrator was like, he's spending a lot of time on thesaurus.com because...
A lot of great words.
So we live, well, I live closer to Maryland than you do, but, you know, East Coast.
The woods are old here.
Yes. We've talked about this before where like I've had some weird experiences, particularly in like the Appalachians. I spend a lot of time in the national park that's on the Appalachians in my state, and some creepy stuff happens there.
Yeah,
And there's a specific feeling, and I think we've talked about it on the channel before, this feeling that I get where it's just very still and very old.
Yes.
Almost reverent, but like in a almost sort of, I don't want to say sinister because it's not, but it's almost like, you're silly, like, human values and human moral systems. They don't mean anything here.
Yes. You were on something else's territory that is much older than you are, or
and
anything.
You have to be careful. And there's silly sort of folk, I won't call them silly, but there's like folk traditions of ways to behave in the woods to not attract the attention of the things that live in the woods.
I was just about to say that, actually. You have to be, like, when you're in those types of woods, you do have to be kind of respectful. It's like if you're going to a graveyard, you wouldn't act like an idiot. So it's the same thing when you go into these old woods. You just have to treat the land with respect, and those creatures won't come after you, hopefully.
Yeah, they also say, like, if you feel like something's chasing you, don't run.
Right.
Don't whistle. Don't, if you hear your name called and you shouldn't be hearing your name called, don't like,
if you hear your name called, no, you didn't.
Yeah, no, you didn't. If you hear someone say, hey, no, you didn't.
Nope, didn't hear a thing.
However, speaking of this particular video, all I got from that video, well, A, is that they said that the woods went quiet, and in the background of the video, they were not quiet. They had normal bird sounds.
Yeah, there was just normal woodland activity.
Right. I mean, I didn't get anything following this guy or like anything in the immediate vicinity, but yeah,
I got things there. Things are definitely there, but nothing that was following him, chasing him. Things that knew he was there, but were just not bothered. Like, that's all I picked up on.
They're not paying him any mind.
No.
But there are things there for sure that were maybe, not. They're not human things. They're not necessarily even like anything that we've talked about. What I will say is, like, in the past, and I think Trevor will back me up on this, when I've experienced stuff in the woods, it's such a huge variety. It's not like some like very small spectrum from like demon to like healed spirit. It's like, there's more out there than you can possibly imagine.
The kaleidoscope of creatures that could be, thank you, of potential creatures that could be there. It's just crazy.
Yeah. In this one, nothing was really in his vicinity or looking to harm him or.
No, because he wasn't acting any sort of way. And things were just like, okay, he's here and we know he's here, but he's good. Like, he's all right.
There are things that I think are not necessarily only in the woods, but definitely of the earth, and just sort of things that you really don't encounter very often that probably don't care how you're acting. They might go for you no matter what. I didn't pick up on anything like that in his immediate vicinity. But there was a feeling of the same feeling I get in the woods here, which is, reverent, sort of like this ancient, just be gone. Like, you're just a little fly walking along,
Right. It's like when you in the movies when they unearth an old grimoire and they pick it up and they blow the dust off of it. Yeah. It's like that. Just very old.
Right. When he says he heard something, he may very well have heard something. I didn't catch anything when he turned around. But there were several presences that he could have not even necessarily heard with his ears. He just knew there was something there and turned around.
Yeah, just intuited, just kind of knew was there.
Exactly. Yeah. But I don't think it was anything that caused him any kind of threat.
No, I don't get that either. I think what caused him that feeling of threat that he was feeling was himself. I think he kind of spooked himself a little bit by accident.
That's okay.
And it happens. Yep, you don't know. You can't see past those bushes. You don't know what they got going on.
Was that the last video?
It was.
Okay. So to recap then, I guess only a couple of them had actually like valid paranormal activity within them, right?
Anything interesting?
So there was the one where the most interesting one to me
I know what you're gonna say.
The mirror.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yep, the hospital bed, the mirror thing, like that was easily the most interesting, and it was the shortest, which is funny.
Just like going back and sort of like feeling into that some more, that whole room really kind of gives me the creeps. Like I don't like it, and I think it's probably because it's the domain of that thing. But
yes,
yeah.
Excuse me. It's set up in such an odd way too. Like it's set up for that thing. I don't know if that was conscious or unconscious doing by the people like that set up. I think it might have been a little more unconscious, so that thing can have like a 360. I say thing. It wasn't earthy, but like a 360 access to that person.
It wasn't earthy, but it was a weird earthy. It was old and it was a lot more active than a normal earthy, you know?
Yeah.
A lot more proactive, I guess, in like getting what it wants. And I have more, I guess this is just a function of it being old, but it had more of like a presence of mind, you know, rather than, because obviously earthies, they exist in a vibration and it's pretty low, a lot of confusion, a lot of fear. It's very difficult to form a coherent thought, and they don't have minds, but you know what I'm saying, consciousness. But yeah, I think that thing, that's definitely its territory. That one was probably the most legit one that we watched.
Yeah, that would be really interesting for us to go in and clear.
I'd love to look into that some more and get some more detail. Yeah,
me too.
For sure. For when I can tell they're in France. I speak French. Let's go.
That is so cool. I did not know that about you.
Oh, yes. That was my major in college.
Oh, cool.
For no good reason. And then I guess the other ones, that land, the one in Pennsylvania where the girl was recording, that was cool.
That was really pretty land. I would love to visit just to visit.
It was pretty and it was old, and there was definitely, if not like, you know, anything super paranormal going on, it was definitely interesting energetically, you know. And then the other one, I can't remember in the beginning, that was also interesting energetically. The one where there are just no grids at all.
Right. Oh yeah, the with the glass breaking on the floor and yeah. That was I didn't like the mirror too in that one. I didn't say that. I forgot to mention it.
I was going to say that myself. I didn't care for that.
The mirror was very weird.
Yeah, I did not care for that at all.
But that was like the worst thing that I got there.
Yeah, the rest of it was kind of eh.
Yeah, if anything, that mirror is really the mirror was the Ouija board in a way.
No way.
The mirror, it's not a Ouija board, obviously, but it's like... I don't know if it's
the mirror itself or it's just the spot where the mirror is. But yeah, the energy in that particular spot is very, it's sort of like, I don't want to say it's a portal, but it's almost like the beginnings, you know?
Yep.
But what I also would wanted to say, and we didn't say it in that video, is that it's so rare for any kind of haunting, quote unquote, to result in like glass being thrown to the floor and broken.
Oh, right. Yes, that's a good point. It takes a lot of energy for spirits to interact with physical.
And a lot of will. Like it takes a lot of willpower that most earthies don't necessarily have yet. Particularly like newer earthies or earthies that are really in that vibration of like pain, confusion, fear. Like that takes a lot of willpower to like hurl something to the ground. And it's something that's really rare. And so, you know, whenever something like that happens in a video, I mean, you guys probably already know this, but I would advise caution. You know, that's probably like, unless they've caught some kind of amazing rare footage, which they all claim to, but you can use your own judgment, you know, it's probably
discernment. Yep. No, probably not. Or if, you know, use caution, but also contact us. Contact us at tcseverydayspsychics.com. If you live with paranormal activity, clear it.
So, Trevor and I really want to do a trail cam video. We are having trouble finding a video that contains actual spooky trail cam footage because everything we find is quite clearly fake.
Yeah.
Um,
So if anyone has some good suggestions of like compilations of trail
right.
cam videos that are interesting that we could watch, that would be awesome if you could
Or
put
even if
that.
you have your own trail cam and weird stuff
Ooh,
happens out there, you know, anything really. And not necessarily just trail cams, but just sort of like, I don't want to say found footage because I don't think that's what that means, but like um footage that inadvertently captures something, right? So like CCTV, security camera, trail cam, that kind of thing. That's
yep.
what we're on the hunt for. So if you have any suggestions, please let us know. We'd love to do a reaction to that and really look into it.
Yes, that would be fantastic.
Because I always like the weirder stuff, the kind of like what is that kind of stuff, and I think that those get captured more often than not, but inadvertently by these sort of devices that are recording all the time. You know.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
All right. Well, I
Well,
guess
that was interesting. I'll say that.
it was interesting. It was not quite as in depth as our normal videos, but that's okay. We wanted to do something a little lighthearted. Um, we've been
Yep.
doing, yeah, you know, on screen and off. We've had some heavy, you know, paranormal stuff going on recently, so we just wanted to do something kind of fun.
Yep. And
Um,
paranormal investigators are annoying as all hell. So,
that's true. Trevor's getting fed up. I'm gonna be
oh
there
my
for myself.
goodness. Anyway, I
What we'll
can't
do,
I can't speak more. I'll just get mad.
yeah, just let it go. Let
I'll
it go.
just, yeah.
Okay, so like we've said, we're always looking for suggestions for upcoming videos. So if anybody has anything like that cool like inadvertent footage, or if you have any ghost POVs that you're just dying for us to do, we can probably tackle those in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, we appreciate you guys watching.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. We'll see you
All right.
soon.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.